Hey guys, it's Ace, and on today's video we're going to be making tiramisu. Tiramisu is one of my favorite desserts to make. You'll love it. I love making it. I've been making it ever since I was like 13, 14 years old, so it's near and dear to my heart, so let's get started. And most important tip before you're getting started in the kitchen is always put on your apron. Nothing worse than getting all your nice clothes dirty. So now, let's officially get started. For any good tiramisu recipe, you need some good coffee. So today I'm going to be using my trusty old Dunkin' Donuts, my pride and joy, and we're going to brew that, and you're going to need 2.5 cups. So now that you've brewed your coffee, you're just going to want to set it into its own little bowl really quickly, and you're going to want to let it cool, let it do its thing while we get started on our filling. And I'll tell you about those ingredients in a second. Alright, so these are the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need 2.5 cups of heavy cream, 1/3 a cup of sugar, plus a little pinch of salt, and the most important, mascarpone cheese. Mascarpone cheese is essentially just Italian cream cheese. It honestly tastes a little better, but that's just my opinion. It's really good on bagels too, but that is just a key part of the tiramisu taste, the tiramisu flavor, and it plays a really big role. So let's just get started on our heavy whipping cream, and I'll show you what to do next. Alright, so for the filling, we're going to start off with our heavy cream, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your sugar and the salt and our heavy cream in here. And what we're going to do, we're going to whip it until we essentially have whipped cream. And I'll show you what to do next. So we are just on the bicuspid of stiff peaks. Notice how we can kind of fold it around. It doesn't particularly hold its shape, but we got some type of shape. We're going to actually start adding some of our mascarpone cheese. Now it's really important that this cheese is very soft. That's awesome. So it can really incorporate well, and we're only going to add just a little bit, just to kind of loosen up the heavy cream and the whipped cream. So now I'm just going to add just a little bit more of the mascarpone cheese. You're going to end up probably using about half of what you need so far, and we're just going to really mix it in here, make sure it gets nice and incorporated, and then we'll work on the rest of it. Alright, so as you can see, we have pretty much folded in about half of that cream and cheese mixture, and now we're going to go ahead and fold in the rest. And it's going to be a really thick mixture, but don't fret, it would all fold together. That was the point of mixing in some of the cheese with some of the whipped cream, just to kind of get them ready, just to kind of get them started, I guess. And we're just going to go ahead and fold this in together. So what you're going to want to do, you're just going to want to fold in the rest of that mascarpone, now that we've added it all into the cream mixture. And we're just going to slowly fold this together because we don't want to lose any of the air that we've made while making the whipped cream. And so you're going to basically just do this until you have a nice smooth mixture, and then we'll get started on the rest of the recipe. Alright, so we're going to grab the coffee that we just put to the side earlier, and now it's finally time to put this recipe together. So let me give you the rundown. We're going to go with our lady fingers, which are the traditional cookies that you use for this recipe. Now, it's not the spongy cake lady fingers, these are actual cookies, like hard. We're going to get the cookies, dip them in the coffee, and then we're going to put our nice whipped cream mascarpone mixture into the dish. Alright, so for assembly, you're going to need 36 ladyfinger cookies. And remember, like I said, they're cookies. They're pretty tough. And we're going to put them into our coffee, like so. Let it drip, and you're going to want to put it to your pan, and do that until you have basically a full pan. And I'll show you what to do next. Alright, so now that we have our base layer of cookie, it is time to get the mascarpone and heavy cream mixture that we made earlier, and just essentially spread it on here nice and even. You don't want to get too much cream in here and then have it be unbalanced with the rest of your dessert. Alright, so now that you basically have a nice and even layer, it's time to start the process all over again. So like I said, dip in real quick and just start layering it on there. Alright, so now that we have a nice and even layer, we're going to go ahead and just start that process all over again. Take a nice dip into our pool of coffee and just continue layering your cookies. Alright, so now that we got a nice solid layer, our second layer, typically tiramisus have around 2 to 3. I'm just going to do 2 today for the size pan I'm using. I'm going to add just another little tablespoon of coffee, and I'm going to add our last little dollops of our mixture over here, and we'll just spread it out, and I'll show you what to do next. Alright, so this is what your tiramisu should look like once you've added that second and final layer. And there's just one last step, and it's the best one. You're gonna add some cocoa powder to the very top. the light little dust in. Oh, perfect. And the cocoa powder is just gonna add some nice chocolatey flavor. That's gonna complement the coffee in here and the sweetness of that cream. This is gonna be the best dessert you've ever tasted. All right, so this is gonna have to go into the fridge for about 8 to 12 hours. But before that, we're gonna add some plastic wrap to the top so it can stay nice and safe. All right, so now that it is nice and secure, we're gonna put it into the fridge for about 8 to 12 hours. Or if you're not feeling patient enough, like I usually am not, you're gonna put it in the freezer for about 2 to 4 hours, up to you though. All right, you guys, so I'm finally home from school. I literally had a full day, so now it's time to get the tiramisu out of the fridge. It's been in there basically since I made it. I made it at around 10 p.m. Last night. It is now, let's see, 4 o'clock the next day. So I think it's definitely had its time to set and let the flavors come together. So let's finally get to try this thing. All right, I just took out the tiramisu from the refrigerator. It's been in there since around 10 p.m. last night. It is now officially 4 o'clock. And doesn't that just look freaking awesome? Let's get like a nice close up. Oh wow, picture perfect. I'm so excited to try this. Look how perfect it cuts. That's exactly how you want your tiramisu to look. Oh yes, a nice big square piece for me. So let's give ourselves a nice try. You ready? I'm throwing a towel in on this one. This is freaking awesome. It's so creamy, yet nice and sweet, but not too overly sweet. It's a sweetened where you can enjoy it. You get that nice strong coffee flavor. Remember, I totally talked about that. And you get nice hint in chocolate because of course the cocoa powder. It is so good. I totally suggest you're trying to make this for your friends, your family, your lover. I don't know, pick one of those, right? I hope you enjoy spending time with me. I will see you next week, and until then, bon appetit.